Hey guys, it's Sakina, your eco-friendly sustainability hostess with the mostest, and I am back with another video. So if you had the opportunity to check out my last video, you would know that I have a bone to pick with America's obsession with luxury, and particularly low-income Americans or middle-income Americans who are trying to make their way through life, but who have been what I would call snared or caught in a snare that is America's obsession with consumerism. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you guys some of the different luxuries that I myself indulge in where I am currently economically. And hopefully this is some kind of a way to inspire you to rethink what you consider to be a luxury and what is considered to be a necessity in your life. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares.
So in my last video, I really broke down why I think that America has a weird obsession with luxury or misplaced obsession with luxury, and how detrimental it has been to the advancements of millennials and Generation Z when it comes to achieving different life milestones, and why we are choosing materialism as opposed to things that I would consider to be more valuable, like starting a family. I'm not going to dive into that because that's a totally different topic, but what I'm going to share with you today are just a few things that I'm doing in my mid-30s to make quantum leaps in my life to kind of make up for lost time and to achieve some of the goals that I have set out for my life. And I'm doing this by rethinking, reprogramming myself, and building new habits when it comes to what I consider to be enjoyable, desirable, and a luxury lifestyle. One of the things that you will see on this channel is that I'm an avid gardener and I love gardening. And I think gardening is totally a luxury because let's face it, many people don't have yards. Many people are renters and they live in apartments. So when you live in an apartment, there's only so much you can do. And I'm blessed that my parents actually have some land and I go out and I garden in their land because they don't. And I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage of this and make the most of it because I've always wanted to garden. I've always wanted my own yard, but because I don't have one yet, I'm using their yard. So one thing I love to do is garden. I garden. This is the second year that I've been gardening. You can check out some of my gardening videos above and see like how far I've come. In 2022, I did okra and I got some basil and I experienced some of the challenges that come with gardening. 2023 has thrown a whole nother host of challenges when it comes to gardening, but I love every minute of it, and it's just so rewarding. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what God told me about gardening and showed me about gardening in another video, but that's one of the luxuries that I'm enjoying now in this stage of life. Another luxury that I'm enjoying that I'm trying to reprogram myself to do more often is reading. I've always been a big reader, but sometimes I get into this habit of wanting to scroll on my phone, and I'm kind of obsessed with YouTube. I love YouTube videos. I do listen to people that uplift me and put good stuff in my spirit and in my mind, but however, I still think it's very important for me to have a good reading, just have a good reading habit, like just reading weekly. And I like to read on the balcony or on the front porch and just read. And I force myself to read a couple pages, like 5 pages a day is my new goal, or 2 chapters in the Bible is my new goal as well. So just reading, slowing down, getting away from electronics, sitting out in nature, and just drinking some tea on the front porch and reading a book. Walking in the park. I actually work nearby a really nice park that has there's a boardwalk right on the lake, and instead of sometimes eating lunch, I'll go and I'll take a 30-minute walk on the lake. And it's just another way that I'm reprogramming myself to spend my time wisely and make sure that I get on my steps, and just another way to kind of decompress from work. If you have a beautiful, beautiful boardwalk on the lake, why aren't you going to take advantage of that? Take advantage of that. Get out of the office, get out of your house, put down the phone, and go outside. Another luxury that I'm indulging in now is paying cash for emergencies. I am so blessed that I have learned the financial skills that I have now. And what it's allowing me to do is have cash set aside to take care of business when business needs to be taken care of, so I don't have to take out my credit card. I still have my credit card, but I've always been good about paying it off every month. And if you're not disciplined enough to do it, then don't have a credit card. But get in the habit of having that money set aside for emergencies, so that whenever you need to get that car repair done, or you have maybe something at the hospital that needs to be done, you can just go ahead and, pay cash. That is to me, that's a luxury. It's a flex for me to be like, oh, okay, there you go. Problem solved. Is in my spare time, I have been working on writing a lot of content for for YouTube and my blog. I've recently started blogging again, and I have a new series called Lessons in Friendship, where I kind of I'm being raw and real about everything I've learned about friendship in the last 10 years, because I think friendships are kind of like the base level when it comes to relationships. You'll see a lot of tons of toxic relationship advice and videos on YouTube and on social media and TikTok and things like that. And I feel like learning how to be a good friend is like a good basis for pretty much all of your relationships, whether it's your family, whether it's your significant other. If you know how to be a good friend, you're really going to have a good foundation with a lot of other relationships. And so that blog series is kind of sharing the wisdom that I've learned over the years from my own personal mistakes, but just from things that have happened to me and betrayals that I've experienced that have taught me, the lesson that I needed to learn in that season. If you're interested in reading a couple of those blog posts, I will link them below in the description box. And of course, once you're on the website, you can sign up for the email list so that you can get notifications every time I drop a new blog post. I recently got into, not recently, this is something that I think is a luxury that everybody can afford, and that is a good binge watching session of a television show. I don't watch a lot of TV, I don't. But whenever I find a good show, I'm all in on it. And lately I've been watching Emily in Paris. I don't know why it took me so long to get into that show. Well, actually I do. It's because I made an assumption about Lily Collins. I do apologize, Lily. I'm sorry, but I don't know, something about your face that just made me think you were going to be like this spoiled it girl, and you're totally not. So I do apologize for making that assumption. But guys, Lily Collins is Phil Collins' daughter. Did you know that? How crazy. And I've watched her in a couple interviews with her castmates from Emily in Paris, and she's so not like what I thought she was going to be like. She's so far from her Emily in Paris character. She's very attentive, and she lets her co-stars speak, and she just doesn't seem like the kind of person who wants to steal the show, which is basically her character in Emily in Paris. Great show. It's also a great opportunity for me to practice my French, because I have a love of the French language and I've studied it for years. And because I can't currently take French classes again, it's a great way for me to get back into the swing of the French language and hear it spoken organically from the actors on the show. And so it's just bringing back that passion that I have for French. And eventually I'm going to invest in French classes again, because I do want to be fluent in French. Renting an office space, this is a luxury that I have noticed that it adds so much value to my life, because your working space, it plays a role in just the mental clarity that you have when you're working. And so I have taken it up on myself to find a really cool co-working space that I can rent for the day. I don't even have to have like a monthly subscription or membership. I can literally just rent it for the day that I want to work. And it just makes my life so much easier, because right now my current living situation is not ideal. I don't have the ideal office setup or video setup in my current space. So being able to have the money set aside that I can actually invest in renting a co-working space or working space is a luxury that I'm totally loving right now. It fits perfectly in my budget. I'm not breaking the bank doing it, and it's adding so much more value to my time and my productivity. that's all I have for this list, guys. It's not very long. It's really the little simple things in my life that bring me so much more joy, like my pets, my gardening, just having free time to breathe and really breathing life into old hobbies that I used to have more consistently, like blogging. Those are the little things that bring so much more pleasure to my life, and I'm not taking them for granted. And you know, one of these days I'll get back to traveling. I'll be able to shop freely again and do all those things, but I'm really enjoying where I am in my life, and I'm seeing the payoff. I'm definitely seeing the payoff. If this video was helpful for you, to inspire you on making some better life choices, I encourage you to give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel if you're liking the content, because I do post videos weekly and I want to see you live your best eco luxury life as well. But until next time, guys, that is all I have for you. Bye.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want.